When I got my first road bike, I was 12 years old. So my dad decided, he's got a new bike, so I need to get him clothes. He got me a jersey, shoes, and shorts. I couldn't tell you what the brand of the shorts I had were or the brand of the shoes, but I do remember that Bellwether jersey that I had.
In the early 90s, I was very much a mountain biker. I was living in Boulder, Colorado. Not a lot of money to be found in those days. Walked into University Cycles on Pearl Street in Boulder, and I looked at some of the options. There was this set of arm and leg warmers. They didn't look like much, and the logo was a little odd, but I asked the guy, and he said, that's Bellwether, and they're kind of under the radar, but they make some really good stuff. And so I paid my $12 or whatever it was at the time, and I still have them to this day. Obviously, I don't need them anymore, but they function perfectly, and they stood the test of time. Bellwether was founded in 1973 in the Bay Area by a dedicated cyclist, and although 40 years have gone by, the brand values remain the same, and that's to instill a level of quality and performance into every garment that we bring to market.
So new for the collection in 2013 is this fabric from Switzerland, utilizing our flash technology as well as cold black dyeing process. And the cold black dyeing process is really neat because it actually keeps UV rays from penetrating, keeping it cooler. And also on the inside you have this flash. You can see the gray material, and the idea is it uptakes moisture really quick, speedy evaporation. Yeah, I tried to pick the best fabrics available. I work with mills in Europe and develop fabric specifically for us. So anything that's just going to enhance performance, be it compression or better moisture management, ventilation where it's needed, stretch where it's needed, something where it really fits in the riding position, because that's critical. When you're actually out there riding for several hours at a time, you really need it to function properly.
One of the things I think is real special about the way that Bellwether brings clothing to the market is the way that we test our products. We have such a personal investment in the products themselves. We spend a lot of time together outside of the office wearing the clothing and riding in the clothing and testing the clothing. And because we're a small group here, it makes feedback really quite easy to get across. It's kind of nice to be able to say to your coworker and your friend, hey, that's not really all that great. You really need to change this. And because we're a small group, we can talk to each other that way.
I literally ride and test every garment that we produce. So when you see a Bellwether item at the bike shop, you can be assured that every one of those pieces has been tested and has my stamp of approval.
One of our favorite places to do the test riding is called Santiago Canyon. We meet up at this place called Cook's Corner. It's a great rallying point. There's a couple different routes that we can do from there. From the get-go, it's a pretty steep climb. I wouldn't call it massive, but by our location standards, it's a pretty good climb. What you're going to find out there, though, is a lot of wind.
Yeah, the chamois, that's where we really put the most time and effort, is into the chamois development. That's the protection. That's what's going to make you comfortable on the bike. So we've incorporated a lot of high technology in our high end. We're like carbon fiber thread, a spacer knit technology, which gives you really good protection, but instead of a high density foam, it allows better airflow, so it's going to dry much quicker than a traditional pad.
Bellwether bibs are special. I have no other way to say that. The bibs themselves, I've gotten the reaction from many people. The first time they try the Bellwether bibs is, wow, we had no idea. And these are some of the best bibs we've ever worn. I think that people would be really surprised when they take a close look at the Bellwether line. I think that you would see in everything that we make, a really high level of engineering and technical performance. Things like flat lock seams, locking zippers, of course, moisture wicking and breathable materials and fabric, sensible design features with no seams in the underarms, tapered pockets for easier access. We have the ability to source any materials out there. We can go to any vendor that any of the other brands can. We have some advantages just with the way that we're structured that allow us to keep our costs down a little bit more than some of the competitors and really allow us to put out a product that in a lot of ways is technically superior to the competition.
Everybody here does ride. They all ride our clothing, which is great. They're all behind it. They're all behind the brand and what we stand for.
You know, as I've looked back on the friendships that I've had over the years, every single one of them that I can pinpoint, there's cycling in the history there. I think it's that need to ride that kind of connects every person who works here and all of our customers. The Bellwether customer is who we are. We're a group of cyclists who are passionate about riding. It's what we do. We truly do live the ride.